Welcome, everyone. I'm excited that you're here. I'm Veronica with Utah Women's Retreats, and me and my friend Amanda on the Go Goodness, we decided that a couple of weeks ago we needed a chance to be able to bring women together more often. And right now, with our current circumstances, that's not happening. Okay, quarantine life, right? So instead, we're going to jump on Zoom and just do it this way. Okay, so I just appreciate you being here. And this week, we really wanted to focus on women in business because so many of you and of our different audiences are women, are working moms, are entrepreneurs, are have a side hustle of some sort. Okay, there's some way that you're doing business or you want to be doing business, okay, depending on where you're at. So we invited 4 different amazing women on today, and I'm so grateful that they're willing to come on and share their knowledge, share their goodness, and they do so because they care about women. Okay, and I just want to say a huge, huge thank you to them. So we're going to jump right in. Each speaker is going to take 10 minutes, and if you have questions, you can put them in the side comments, and we will also link out to their Instagram or their website so you can get to know them and get to know what they do. And if that's something that is helpful for you, then you can reach out to them and chat with them more. So our first speaker is Rachel with Bright Zebra Marketing. And I met Rachel a couple months ago, and I'm so grateful for what she has to share because I think this is a pivotal point in any business is learning to clarify your message and your brand and what you're putting out into the world, whether you're a full-fledged business or you're just starting out. So Rachel, go ahead and jump in, do a quick intro, and then present. Yay, thank you. Okay.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. I'm just going to share my screen real quick because I have prepared slides because that is who I am. Oops. Hopefully you can you see my screen? Is it working? Okay, great. I'm going to present. Okay, so my 10 minutes is going to be 10 minutes to get us to some better brand clarity. Everybody get out get ready to take screenshots because I'm going to give you some prompts and templates, and also, or just be ready to write ferociously fast because 10 minutes is not a lot of time to get to clarity, but I'm going to give you some ways that you can kind of jumpstart doing that on your own.
And you guys, we will have the replay, so just know that you can go back, okay? No worries.
Yep. And really quickly, who is Bright Zebra Marketing? My name is Rachel Duplain, and my business partner is the brunette on this slide, Ashley Spurlock, who is amazing. Between the two of us, we have over 20 years of experience in corporate marketing. We've worked for startups and we've worked for big brands. And about a year and a half ago, we decided we felt like we have so much knowledge in the marketing space, and we realized there are lots of amazing women out there trying to create amazing businesses who don't have marketing backgrounds and are just struggling trying to learn it all because marketing is vast, confusing, its own language. And so we decided we wanted to help other women learn how to market their businesses so they can grow their businesses successfully. And so that's what we're doing with Bright Zebra Marketing. We both have one little boy each. Ashley's son is about to turn 4. My son is 18 months old. We're both women in our 30s who had kids late and are totally happy about that for ourselves. And we're just really passionate about what we do. We have English degrees. Ashley has an MBA, and we are both right now working full-time plus doing this coaching on the side. And of course, the hope for us is to build this to the place that we can transition out of our corporate careers and do this full-time. It's just a little bit about us. What I'm going to cover is we're going to uncover your why for your business because that's where your strategy needs to start. Then we're going to figure out how to get more clear about your audience. We're going to clarify your purpose for what you do, learn how to clearly state your core message and the value that you provide your audience, and then use that to get some clarity about where you should be focusing and prioritizing your efforts in your business. Okay, so to start this out, talking about your why, hopefully everyone's heard about Simon Sinek. If you haven't, I very highly recommend watching some YouTube videos or his TED Talks. he is a very well-respected thought leader in the business space and leadership space. And he's probably most famous for this quote, which is, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So you can sell features and products as much as you want, but until people connect with the why for what you're doing, it's not going to make that big of an impact. When people connect with your emotional why reason for what you do and your purpose or what you stand for, or your cause, the thing that you're trying to change, that's when they become your fans and they want to buy anything that you do. So that's why we need to get really clear about what this is. And so here's a prompt to get you started. If I could give my audience one thing in only one word, it would be what? Fill in the blank. To help you with this, I want you to know that most of the time, if you ask like, the first thing you're going to say is like money or something like that. Like, you want money, you want to help other people get money, and that's not like the right emotional driver or connection. Most of the time, if you ask yourself why 5 times, like, but why, and every time you answer, dig deep, you will get to one of these core human needs. And that's the reason that you've started your business. And often it's the same thing that you're trying to give your audience. So for example, I know that Veronica is all about connection. She wants connection for herself, and she also wants to help other women connect with each other. And so her business, it's so interesting how she's like, I want this greater connections with other women and women of influence. And then what she does with her events is help other women connect to each other at the same time. So it's the same purpose, serving 2 people, yourself and your audience. That's not 100% of the time, but I would say most of the time it's something like that. So these are the 6 core human need categories, and some words in each of those categories that could help you determine what your why might be. These aren't the only words that you can use, but hopefully this will help point you in the right direction. Okay, next, let's clarify your audience. Once you know your why, then we have to understand who it is that you're wanting to serve. And this is really important that we be very specific. This is the #1 problem I see with every coaching call and consultation that I do. Almost every single time, the women that I work with aren't super clear about who they serve. They get kind of like part of the way there, or they're trying to serve like 7 people or 3 people, and they're not really clear. And especially when you're just starting out, that should be one specific audience. And then once you do that really well, you can expand, but start to do one thing really well. So using words like I help women, or I help people, or I help entrepreneurs or small businesses or parents, that's all too broad. How can you add another adjective in there to clarify what type of, is it single parents? Is it parents of teenagers? Is it more specifically moms of teenagers? So get as specific as you can. And I think it's okay if you're still figuring that out and you want to try a few things and see what sticks. That's okay. But this is really important, that you make it very clear who you serve, and you're showing that in your Instagram bio and in all the other places where you show up online. When in doubt, start with someone who's like you, because most of the time women start businesses based on something that they've already learned how to do for themselves that filled their need, and now they're trying to give it to other people, people like them. And then think through, who do you think would benefit most from your product or service? Make sure that they actually have a problem or need that you can solve and that they're willing to pay money for to have solved. And then make sure that they have the budget to do it. And so, for example, if your product is, baby clothes, obviously you're not going to target babies, you're targeting moms, even though the product is for babies, if that makes sense. So you want to make sure that you're targeting the person who's got the money and is going to make who will buy. Now, once you know your why and your audience, then you can start to understand what the purpose for your business is. And here's a prompt to get you started. Your brand exists to help who, so be clear about your audience, move from a certain negative state to a desired positive state. And what are those 2 states? sometimes those states will be physical states, especially if you're in the health and beauty industry. But even in the health and beauty industry, an emotional state connects more. So this is a tool that I use a lot that was really helpful. This is the emotions wheel. I did not create this. This is created by psychologists, and there are several different versions of this out there, but this one's my favorite. The inner ring are the 6 core human emotions. The second ring and the third ring, so like the ring on the outside and the ring in the middle, those are the secondary and tertiary emotions that all map back to those core emotions in the middle. So I use this to help me kind of figure out what that word is of, like, you can see the ones on the 3 on the top are more of what we would perceive as negative emotional states. And then the ones on the bottom are kind of the inverse positive. So if you can figure out, for example, if you feel like your audience is depressed and that's in the sad category, you can go to and it doesn't have to be like directly opposite, but you can go into the general opposite realm of that to find, maybe it's you want to move your audience from depressed to energetic, and so that this can just help you find the words to articulate how you're trying to create this transformation. People will really respond to some sort of transformation that's going to help them become who they want to become, or gain something that they want to gain. Then, once you know what transformation you're going to provide, you can clarify your message, because now you know your audience, you know why you're doing it, and you know what you're trying to do with them. So now you know how to tell them about it, right? So this is a prompt for that. My brand is so when I say description, it's like, for me, Bright Zebra is a duo, like a marketing coach duo, right? Like it's just very specifically, what are you? Are you a coach? Are you something else? That I put verbs here, but it's just like helps, gives, whatever the verb is there. Your audience to do what? What's the value that they get out of this? And here are some examples of women that I follow on Instagram who I think are doing a good job of this. For the corporate mom life, I love for her Instagram that you can see very clearly, like, from her handle, she's for corporate moms, right? So you know who she serves. And the first thing that you see on her bio is that she helps corporate moms thrive in their family and their career. That resonates. That is a value that she's providing, and she's being very clear about that. Emma is a Pinterest expert, and she helps online business owners make more money with Pinterest marketing courses. So she's being very specific about the value as she's helping them make more money, and how she does it specifically with Pinterest and courses. Ashley is a health coach, and she helps busy women create a happy, healthy, balanced life. And how does she do it? Well, specifically, her way of doing it is with holistic, customized plans for success. I also like Crystal Makes You Money. She helps moms get out of debt and make more money. That resonates. It would resonate even more if it was like single moms, right? So like, if you can add that extra qualifier, then somebody who goes and sees your Instagram page is like, I am that, and I need that. This is for me. And then once you've understand and gotten clear about those things in your business, now this will help you know where to focus in your business. So let's add onto your core message, which is the grayed out version that we just talked about, and say, we do this by. So what actions do you take that helps your audience get that value, and what's the desired outcome on the end? And when you do that, you can look and say, okay, what are the 3 things that I do in my business that directly help my audience achieve these things? And those 3 things are always going to be your top priorities. So if it comes to, like, maybe your Instagram page is where you give them the tips and tricks to help them. So that's where you give them most of your content. And maybe you do a podcast, and maybe you do one-on-one coaching, right? So those things are the things that are A, going to help you get the most money and get the most clients, and B, that helps you give the most value to your audience. So those things are going to take precedence over, say, I need to redesign my website. Like, you got to focus on those things first before you start creating your YouTube channel and all the things. Get these things running really well. And then we bring it all together, and this is the start of a brand guide for you. You understand my why is to give myself and my audience this one thing. The audience I serve is people, like who, what, like women who what, people who what, men who what. My brand's purpose is to help my audience move from what negative state to what positive state. The value I provide to my audience is specifically this. And I provide value to my audience by doing these three things, and I will prioritize doing these three efforts over everything else to move the needle the most in my business. Okay, that was rapid fire. I do have a audience clarity workbook. If anybody's interested, you can text this number and download it. And then we would love for you to connect with us on Instagram or our website.
Awesome. Thank you, Rachel. I know that was really quick, but you guys, you'll be able to go back and listen to it and really work through her prompts. And also, I don't know if they have any other slots available, but Rachel and her partner were doing brand clarity calls and other free calls this month and next month. So you can kind of go over there and see if they still have them. But I did one with Rachel and it was amazing. It was really awesome and helped me clarify some things. So awesome. Thank you so much, Rachel. I appreciate it. Okay, our next speaker up is Kylie Ann Studios. Kylie Ann, she was scheduled to come speak at one of our retreats last year, and she had kind of a family dilemma come up, and instead she did more than she could to help the women that were there, and I just really appreciate her. But she runs a photography studio and does so much more. Like, that's just the tip of the iceberg. So Kylie Ann, jump on in and you can go ahead and introduce yourself. Sweet. Awesome.
Okay. You see my screen?
Got it.
Awesome. Let's see. Okay, so my name is Kylie Ann. Like she said, I'm a photographer and a business coach, and I live in Cache Valley. My favorite thing in the world is to talk about marketing, so I just loved what she just shared about marketing. That's great. That's a good base for what we're going to be talking about. So I'm so happy to be in this group. I'm going to be talking really fast. I have a lot to cover in 10 minutes, but it's important information, so we're going to do it. So first of all, what is marketing? I think we have to answer that question. It was kind of just answered. I didn't know it was going to be answered so well right before this, but we're going to answer it again just so you know what, when I say this is how I schedule my marketing, you know kind of what I'm talking about, what marketing is. So let's see. There it is. Marketing is how you tell your story. Hold on, I gotta move your faces out of my screen. Hold on, I can't even see it. Pause, maybe over to this side. Okay, here we go. Okay, so marketing is how you tell your story to the world to attract your ideal clients. It's the art of convincing people that you're the best at what you do. Whatever it is that you do, you're the best, and they need to buy from you. They need to buy your product or your service. And ultimately, it's creating a brand that's irresistible. It's connecting your services with their needs. People do not know what you offer, who you are, why you're the best unless you tell them. That's why we have to have marketing, because it's so important for us to be in control of the conversation of what people are saying about our business, what people know about our business. We're in charge of that. And if we don't market ourselves, no one's going to be able to know that we're the best for them. And so I think it's hard for people to kind of put themselves out there, and the self-promotion thing is really hard, but it's so important because otherwise they're not going to know why they need you. So marketing, I believe, is the key to success. I believe you could be the worst photographer. In the beginning, I was the worst photographer in the world, maybe not the world, but I was pretty bad, but I knew how to market myself and I could get business. So you could be the worst at marketing or the worst at photography and still succeed. You could be the worst hairdresser and still succeed if you know how to market yourself. There are people that want whatever service you have, even if you're not the best. But if you don't have the marketing, people aren't going to find you. And then also I've seen it the opposite. I've seen the best photographers that I know in the world, but they don't have marketing and they can't get themselves out there. So I believe marketing is super important. It sets us apart. We can all buy the same equipment. In the photography world, we can buy the same camera, the same preset, shoot in the same locations, but it's the people who can promote themselves and get their message out there that are going to be booked. And it's the same in every single industry. So I'm going to talk about how I plan a week of marketing in just one day across multiple platforms. So we're talking blog, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. That sounds really stressful to most people to think about, oh, how am I going to post on all these different channels throughout the week? I don't have that much information. I'm going to run out of things to share. What do I do? So this is my workflow. And I'm saying this really quick. I know this is a lot of information to digest in just 10 minutes, but I'm happy to answer questions after as well. So first of all, I write 3 blog posts a week, and I'm going to talk about what those blog posts are in just a minute. I write 3 blog posts a week, and each of those blog posts has 300 words at least in them. That's because of SEO, and I want to be searchable on Google, which I talk about in my marketing classes, but today we're just talking about the workflow. And then I'm going to schedule those to auto post to my Facebook and Twitter. So anytime I schedule a blog, it'll auto publish and it will link to my Facebook page and it will link on my Twitter. So now I'm sharing a blog, but I'm also sharing that in 2 different places. Then I'll copy each paragraph into separate Instagram posts. So I have 300 words. That means I have 100 words per Instagram post. And I switch it up a little bit to add a little bit more conversation, a call to action, a question, kind of, because obviously social media is different than reading a blog post. But I'm taking that same content and turning it into something that starts a conversation. And then I'm going to schedule those to auto post onto Instagram and Facebook through Planoly. And then I'll leave blank spots in my social schedule for real-time posting as well. So all I'm doing is writing 3 blog posts a week, but it turns into Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, all from that one blog post with information. And when you think about it, scheduling 3 blog posts a week is a way less daunting than scheduling 7 social media posts, 7 Pinterest posts, 7 Facebook posts. It all works together. So how do I know what to write about? That's the question. Everyone's like, ugh, that seems like, how do you even come up with 3 a week? I can't even do 1 a month. So this is kind of my schedule. I think it's important to create some sort of formula or calendar schedule. I started blogging, let's see, it's 2020. It feels like it's 2021 after quarantine. I started blogging in 2011. So how many? 9 years. 3 times a week. And this is what I started with my schedule. Every Monday, I would do an educational post. Every Wednesday, it would be a client experience post. And every Friday, it would be behind the scenes or personal. I'm going to give you an example from a photographer. So for education for a photographer, it's what to wear to your session, how to prepare for your session, best locations in our area. Those are all educational posts. How can we enrich their experience by giving them education? This doesn't only help serve your clients. It helps serve your clients. It helps market your business. It helps you be seen on, Google and Facebook, and it's shareable, but it's also going to help overall. You get better clients. You get clients that know what they show up, wearing the right things or more prepared. It overall helps everything. These types of posts. Education is the best kind of content to give because it enriches the entire experience, not just makes you look better or stuff for people to share. An example, if you're like a makeup artist or, if you're, in a MLM that does makeup, how to exfoliate, how to wash your brushes, like all these things that people ask you every single day in your profession, how can you help educate? So anyways, there's lots of different examples in there. The second one is client experience. So for me, that would be blogging like a family session or blogging a senior session. It would be showing them, what the pictures turn out like, that kind of thing. For hair and makeup artists or skincare, it could be a before and after picture. For like those financial examples that she was sharing in the last video, it could be like, this is what her finances look like before, this is after, this is what we kind of did throughout. So there's a way to show what service you're offering or what product you're offering and kind of the overall experience that clients are having with it. I just realized experience was spelled wrong on that. Okay, and then the third column is personal or behind the scenes, but it's like personal to your business. Like, why did you start your business? What's the reason behind the name of your business? Why do you serve that specific audience? And you could even take some of those prompts that she shared in the last one and create whole blog posts out of that. Like, why are you targeting to single moms? There's a story there. Why are you talking about debt? There's a story there. Obviously, the reason you're doing your business, there's stories behind that. So those are things that you can post on the third day of the week. So then the next question is, well, what do I say in the blogs? I can't write 300 words for a blog post. I'm not a good writer. I hate writing. These are all things I hear all the time. First of all, you do not have to be a good writer to write a successful blog. Google actually likes short, easy to read sentences. They don't like you to be the best writer in the world. They don't care if you're the best writer in the world. They want you to write concise information that people want to read and they want to share because it's easy for them to read. And it has enough words that it's searchable. So 300 words, it doesn't have to be perfect. Done is better than perfect. Don't sit on a blog for a month trying to write a blog. I think a lot of people just spend too much time rewriting, writing it, editing it. This isn't good enough, not posting it. Instead, just write it out, edit it through one time, short, easy to read sentences like you're talking to a friend, and that alone is enough for a blog post. If you need extra help, I have resources. I have a 90 days of marketing class. I have a blogging class that has more prompts and ways to start writing if you need help with that. Okay, and then number 2 is download a scheduler. I think a lot of people get excited and they start, one day they get on a kick and they start writing captions or they start writing blog posts and then they schedule them all together. It's so important to schedule your content out so that you're not sharing all the content you have in one day. So if you've already shared a post and then you think of another post, put it in your scheduler. Resist the urge to overpost all your perfect photos at once. Then you have time to plan, prepare, inspire people, educate. And for me, I like to sit down when I'm in a writing mood for the week ahead instead of trying to come up with a post on the spot every day of the week. So I use Planoly for Instagram. And then for my WordPress blog, I use Jetpack as my scheduling app. So most importantly, our goal with marketing and with putting this content out and with these captions and these blog posts is to make people feel something and react and to show more of your personality through your words. So it doesn't have to be the most perfectly written thing that you've put out there, but if it connects with people, that is what's going to convert people in from just reading a post to becoming your customers, to becoming your clients, to becoming your followers, your fans, the loyal people that follow you. So you can follow me at Kylie Ann Studios if you have any questions. I know that was really quick. I tried to condense a 30-minute class into 10 minutes. And I also have a free class about it as well.
Well, and you guys, one of my favorite things that she was talking about is, and this is why I had her on, was how to streamline your content. And Kylie is perfect at it. It's just her system makes it so simple. And so find what works for you, but hope you're taking notes or go back and do it. But content is important. So thank you so much, Kylie. I really appreciate it. You guys are amazing. See these women? You see why I had them on? They're amazing. Okay. Our next speaker is Sarah with Sarah Grace Live. And so go ahead and hop in, Sarah. I wanted to say first, I'm going to totally embarrass her, but today's her birthday. Yay! Everyone give her like a shout out. Coming on your birthday. So I hope you have some events tonight. But Sarah's going to share a secret of how to get our businesses on the top of people's minds when maybe they're not right now. Okay, so she's really going to talk about right now, and I'll let her introduce her topic a little bit more. So jump on in, Sarah.
Awesome. Excited to be here. I'm a total whiteboard junkie, so you're just going to have to party with me here on the whiteboard. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so it's a little bit brighter in here, okay? So right now, it is Corona time, and everybody feels like, oh crud, it's time for businesses to tighten and not be profitable. And how in the world am I going to grow a business? Is this when I should hide and just wait for this all to be over? And the greatest news ever is that never in the history of the world has everybody been online all day long. Ever. So if you are an online entrepreneur or you're thinking of being an entrepreneur, now is your time. Some of the greatest businesses of all time were brought to life when it's the winter of business. And we are in the middle of the winter of business, which is good news if you know how to treat it. So I would be teaching you totally different things right now if it wasn't Corona time. Okay, I really would. And so this is why this is so timely, because Jay Abraham, who is a brilliant business mind, says that there are 3 ways. I don't have slides, people. I have a whiteboard, okay? There are 3 ways to grow a business right now, and they're really, really simple. So somebody put it in the chat box so that you can remember this, because I'm going to talk a million miles an hour. The first one is you can get more clients. Duh, right? Like duh. I can grow a business if I get more clients. I'm not talking to you about that today, okay? But that is the way that you can get more clients. The second one is Business 101. It is to increase the average transactional value, the ATV, of people that come to your store or your business. So that their cart, instead of being $29, all of a sudden the average cart value is now $49. You can increase the average transactional value, the ATV. That's another way that you can do it. If you want to learn how to do that, I have a class that teaches all about that, how to increase the average transactional value. You can join me, that's great. Today we're talking about number 3. Number 3 is to increase how often current clients purchase from you. That is the third way to grow a business. So how in the heck, in the middle of Corona time, how in the world are we going to increase the amount of times that existing clients purchase from you? And especially if you're sitting here and you're like, Sarah, I'm turning this off because I only offer one product and it's an online class and there's no way that someone's going to purchase from me more than once. Okay, there's no way, because I have one class and that's going to be their experience. Today is your day. Today is your day. Okay, so we're going to dive in and show how in the world are we going to get people to purchase from us over and over and over and over again, especially if you feel like you only offer one product. Show of hands, I can only see half of you here. How many of you feel like you only offer one product? Oh, we only got one. So this is for you, Bree. This is for you. You only offer one. Great. The rest of you can go. Bree and I are going to be talking. This is great. Okay. So what we're going to do is, how in the world do we get people to purchase when we feel like we only offer maybe one experience in that? It is with this wonderful diagram here, okay? And I'm going to write as quickly as I can. The first way to start is to create a pathway of problems that your person, that Bright Zebra Marketing taught you all about. What kind of problems are they experiencing over and over and over and over in your niche, okay? So I call it a pathway of problems, okay? For the example today, I hope you guys can see this. Give me a thumbs up if you can see this. Okay, the things that you're gonna do is do a pathway of problems that people experience. So for example, the example we're using today is a food blogger. A hobbyist food blogger who is a current client of mine is like, all I do right now is I post recipes. So she is making sure that she is being known for the most fabulous recipes out there. So that is currently the problem that she is solving, is that people want to have a reliable food blogger that they can follow. Why do I cook everything that Mel's Kitchen Cafe posts? Because she is my food blogger. Anybody else? Oh yes, okay? So that is who she is trying to model after, okay? So she is doing recipes, okay? That is the current thing. That is the only thing that she's doing. And so she's like, first, Sarah, how am I going to become profitable? And how are these people kind of purchase from me over and over and over again? What are other problems that people experience even after they get your recipes? Even if you are the best Mel's Kitchen Cafe out there, people are still going to have problems. What kind of problems do I have? Even though I have Mel's Kitchen Cafe on my side, I need her to tell me what I need to cook every single day of the week, right? That is a problem I am still experiencing after her amazing recipes. You can offer the greatest course, book, experience, photography. You can offer the most wonderful product and people are still going to have problems. And that's a great sign, because that means you're an entrepreneur and you can continually solve them, okay? So instead of recipes, now she's going to offer a food guide, okay? A weekly food guide, okay? Another problem that people have, and again, we're talking a million miles an hour, is that people want to have a physical cookbook instead of always going to their phone and having their phone turn off. Thank you, Mel's Kitchen Cafe. I have to print out everything because my phone turns off when I'm in the middle of cooking spaghetti. We're all nodding because we're all doing it, okay? Okay, so she's gonna do an actual cookbook, okay? And then all of a sudden, what if she's really amazing at bread and I can never get her bread to turn out? Oh, she should teach me a bread class, right? She can actually teach me cooking techniques, right? Okay, so that there are all of a sudden there are food classes and demos that she can create. So do you see how we've created a pathway of problems that our people experience over and over again? This is how you keep loyal clients, longtime clients, and how you grow a business. Even if you only have 100 people that love you, if they purchase over and over and over and over again, that's way better than have 1,000 people that can only purchase from you once. It is the pathway of problems that is the secret to growing a business, even in the middle of the craziness of Corona. So let me show you this very last example right here on how we plug in the pathway of problems to help our existing people be able to purchase from us over and over and over again. This is something right here. This ladder thing is called the value ladder, okay? The value ladder is us plugging in the pathway of problems ranging from $0 to thousands of dollars, and it gives us a clear experience path for our clients. We can help clients that have no money to spend on us. We can help clients that have thousands of dollars to spend on our expertise. And it's by plugging it into the value ladder. So for example, recipes, that's her free thing, right? That she does on her blog to create traffic and trust. That's gonna go right here at the $0 level, okay? Plugging it into the value ladder. Guys, I teach an hour-long class on this and we are hunkering it down, okay? Here we go, okay? Second thing, all of a sudden she says, you know, probably the next step for them is they're actually gonna want a cookbook before they're gonna want like a membership with me to know shopping lists. She's gonna take that cookbook, boom, all of a sudden she's got a $20 product here. How much of this of her personal time does this cookbook take day in and day out? Once it's done, nothing, right? Once it's done and it sits there, and that's the point of the value ladder. Next, she says, you know, probably the next thing is gonna be that they're gonna want that membership. So they're gonna take that food guide membership, they're gonna put it here to the top. I know you probably can't read this and that's okay, but that is the value ladder in action in 10 minutes. All of a sudden, you are only a recipe person. You've got someone who is so fiercely loyal. I will buy Mel's Kitchen Cafe's cookbook the minute it comes out. And I will take her bread making class and her cinnamon roll class because I have been built through a value ladder. And all of a sudden she offers a membership and I am in line and she is growing a business. How are we feeling? How are we feeling? Okay. This is so possible. There is no one in business, no one. I coach David Butler and Emily Freeman. I coach Family Tech University. I could coach so many people that do not offer one product. They think they offer one product. You do not offer one product. You offer an entire experience from $0 to thousands of dollars. And let me give you one last tip. Is there anybody here that's in the course space where you feel like the only way you can help people is either one-on-one or only through a course? Here's a little pro tip on the value ladder, okay? Always start at $0, and that's something they can do totally by themselves. It doesn't take any of your time, okay? None of your personal time. The next step, they can do things in a group setting. Do not charge them $20 for your personal time. You cannot do it. You cannot do it. It's not sustainable. The middle step is a group experience that they can experience with each other, and maybe you pop in once or twice to help. The top experience up here, you can maybe consider getting your personal time, but don't put your personal scheduled time into something until it's at the top of your value ladder. That'll protect your time, and it's also going to protect their money by learning all of your basics and your amazing stuff at the lower price points. So that when it comes a time for them to pay bigger amounts of money, they're already pre-qualified. You're not going to waste your time teaching basic stuff to people that are trying to pay you $100 an hour, $200 an hour to do it. You have protected your time and their finances. Woo! If you are dying to build more value ladders, I've got a private Facebook group, Sarah Grace Live. You can join in. We do lives and trainings and master classes and all that kind of stuff. If you want a course, girl, we can do it all. Okay? You guys are amazing.
You are amazing. Like, you guys, I'm in Sarah's private group and she's just always giving value. Okay. I love that. Even if it's at the bottom of the value ladder and you're giving out something all the way to the top, she has something for you. And all of these women do. So go check them out, see what is going to be right for you. But even if you just take what she said today and you start there, all of these things are going to be a benefit. So I'm so grateful. Thank you, Sarah. And happy birthday, love.
Thank you.
Okay, our last speaker, Amanda, are you on? You want to introduce Laura for a sec?
I'm here. I am just sitting in my swimsuit because the family is out by the pool and I am
out of here. Oh my gosh. We're coming to your house.
by the pool. Yeah, so I had to escape. And so yeah, just sitting here. But our last speaker is Laura, and she is a coach that helps busy moms balance that work-life balance. And her and I met at a women's event, a networking event, and we just instantly clicked. And so I was so excited to have you, Laura, come on and chat with us.
Thank you. Can you all hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Yeah, it was so fun being able to meet Amanda, and she just has this glow about her. And now knowing Veronica, she has the same thing. So real quick, I want everybody just to take a deep breath. We took in a lot of incredible information. And I think as moms, especially because we're on this call, we are go-getters. We are overachievers. We are the ones that are conquering the world. And those are the clients that I spend my time with, are the ones that are working from home to accomplish their dreams and change the world while also raising a family. And that can feel very overwhelming, especially right now when we have school closures and all the kids are quarantined into the house, and we're working in closets because we're sharing workspaces with a spouse. And so I have I could put up other background, but I really want you to see, like, this is real life. This is what we're all participating in right now, and it can be amazing. So that's what I spend my time teaching women, is how to juggle life while still being successful in your business and whatever work that you're doing at home. So when I was thinking about, what I wanted to share is, I'm going to slow it down just a little bit. I'm going to share 3 things with you. And these things are the areas that I coach most in. So Verona, we can hear you. Go on. Okay. So the 3 things that I coach most in, and that's work, home, and family. So those are the 3 main areas that I'm going to talk with. And let me back up. So most of the time, and I've experienced this too, we're getting new planners, we're implementing new schedules, we've got all of these amazing things at our fingertips, and we learn about them, and then we get off of the webinar and we don't change a single thing. We've all been there. So my job is to come in and teach you why you're not changing anything. And it's all because of what's happening in your brain and that overwhelm that you're experiencing being a mom and in the rest of your life. So when I talk about these 3 things, I start with some very simple tips. And you're going to think I'm crazy by these tips, but I'm going to tell you exactly why you need to do each of these tips. So the first one I wanted to focus on was the working from home. And we've all done it, where we've been cooking at the stove, answering emails, listening to a podcast, and somehow wiping some kid's butt somewhere, all within about a 5-minute time period. We all do that. So we are constantly in this multitasking mindset. So the first thing when it comes to working from home is, I want you to put your pants on, okay? Or put a bra on. And I'm not talking like your 4-year-old nursing bra, okay? We all have those in our closets. Don't lie. I know you do. I want you to put on, something that you would wear when you were going into work. Now, when we do that, that doesn't magically change the way we are working, okay? It's like pants aren't magic in some way. But what it does is compartmentalize, this is us working right now. And it teaches our kids the same thing, that when I'm dressed this way, I mean business. And that's a very different shift than watching mom in her holy pants with no bra trying to get things done. It's a little confusing to kids. So when you look at research, the average telecommuter works 4 hours more than their counterparts that are in an office. Those 4 hours are times you could be spending with your family and being present with your kids. But because you're so busy multitasking and doing all of these things, that time gets lost and jumbled and you end up working more. So when I coach my clients, that is the very first simple step, is compartmentalize the time that you work by doing something very distinct. Figure out what that is for you. Again, whether it's putting your pants on, maybe it's putting a little lipstick on, mascara, a nice sexy bra, whatever it is for you. So the second thing, that I said that we coach on, that I spend the majority of my time coaching on, is our home life. All of my clients are home managers in some way, usually the primary home manager, which means that when we go out, then we're seeing all of the piles everywhere. So instead of working on our business, we end up cleaning up the table and then going to a different room, and we end up bouncing around our entire house. And then we step back at the end of the day and feel like we haven't accomplished anything. So the second step that I want you to do is make your bed every single day. It sounds so simple. Research shows that people that make their bed, the 27% of people make their bed every single day. And of those 27%, over 60% consider themselves happy. And again, it's not magic. Like the bed doesn't magically make your whole house stop. But what it does do is provide your brain evidence on something you've accomplished today. And when we're working from home with all of our kids there, it's easy to step back and think, nothing got done today. But then you can walk into your bedroom and see that your bed is made, and it instantly provides that sense of accomplishment for you. Having that sense of accomplishment means you get more work done throughout the rest of the day. It sets a tone for the rest of your day, and that's what you're trying to do. So the third thing, we're moms, we really love our kids, but being with them in the house all the time is a different experience now that they're all out of school and that we're all quarantined and we can't go anywhere. So when I coach my clients, what I've often found is that when they're working, they're saying, okay, I need to do this one last thing. Just hold on, I'm finishing. I just got to send this one last email. And what happens is time starts to run out, and then they start abutting time with cooking dinner or the next thing that has to get done, doing the schoolwork. And all of a sudden they lose that connection with their children. So what I teach my clients for the third thing is think about the time you're going to work. Start it with 10 minutes with your kids, whatever you want to do in those 10 minutes. And I'm not saying like my daughter loves crafts. I'm so grateful she loves crafts. I'm not a crafter. She wants to make these big, huge, elaborate things. And sometimes we do that. But when we're doing 10 minutes with them, it may be as they're sitting, eating their lunch at the counter, you're looking at their eyeballs. So that is like the one requirement, for that 10 minutes. I know you spend 10 minutes just scrolling your phone mindlessly. Instead, put your phone down and spend 10 minutes looking into their eyeballs. And when you're looking at their eyeballs, they feel that connection to you and you feel it to them. So when you go to work, they've already had their cup filled. But what's incredible is you've had your cup filled as well. So you're not feeling guilty for working. Mom guilt is a huge thing, and we're juggling so many different things. So have that connection time from the front end, and it won't ever get lost on the back end, which is huge. And all of this stuff, like when we really look at it, like we are incredible women and we deserve to have support through all of this. We have trainings in every aspect of our lives, but then we're expected to be put into this home environment to survive without ever being trained on how to do that. And so if that's anything that you are interested in, like reach out to me, whether, it's me or another coach that I can refer you to. Get the help that you deserve so that you can succeed in the life that you have created and built, because it's worth it. And that's where you start to change the world while still being the mom that you want to be.
I love that. Thank you so much, Laura. Like, I love how you just outlined it, and someone put in the comments, it's so simple, it's doable. Absolutely. I loved your third one where you're talking about that 10-minute chunk. I've definitely seen that with my kids. So I'm glad that you pointed it out and worded it so well. Cause it's like, when you give them that time, it's almost like they're satisfied for a bit. They're like, okay, I actually can, I can go do something else now. So I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, and I do have more work from home tips. I just wanted to share 3 simple ones today. But if you go to my website, I've got a free video there that shares more tips for you on how to be successful.
Awesome. Thank you so much, you guys. Okay, we have a few minutes for questions. If anyone wants to either put them in the chat box or just jump on and you can ask your question. I know we've had a lot today. It's meant to be, kind of this small snippet of time because I know you're at home, like homeschooling. So does anyone have any questions or just a comment they want to make? Okay. Not a problem. If not, go check out their Instagrams, their websites. These women are amazing. And I know each one of you on today, you have something to give, or you wouldn't be here. You want to be able to give and to serve those around you. So I just really appreciate all that each one of you do. And like was said earlier, this is a space where we get to come together, where we get to feel connection, but also to be able to learn things and be able to go to share them in the future. So thank you so much for being on in the recording, and anyone that wants to stay on can. Okay.